Jacksonville, North Carolina machine ready to go.
Five with 403 with a 6.
414, 185 miles an hour. Your number 2 qualifier, your points leader, is moving on here today, and he will. Up a lap, 205, but we have seen our first 360 pass of the weekend. Derek Ford, that's the one left inside the racetrack. Gainesville, first Maryland, Gerald Brooks, 68 Camaro, 68 Camaro, 50 Fireway, you're on the right hand side, race star wheel. Racing suspension on board. 374, look at that MIR, 199 miles an hour for West Estefano. Very nice. Our next two already fired up for us. Final qualifying effort. Here we go between Albert and Burnley. Picking up 200ths of a second for Ed Burnley. Down to the 60 right here. Yeah, the 3 is going to go to the 60. Ready? 4 and 9 currently in qualified. Final shot of the racetrack before racing. 3.707 to the 3.696. Look at the runs there. Chris Reed is your new provide the opportunity for Case Harris to take a swing at things and move up. Left-hand side, mark time 69 Camaro, this is number 8 spot. The 373.5. Like Ferguson, jump behind the wheel side of the jump around Camaro here on the right-hand side. Let's qualify for throughout the first two sessions, but now it's all the way down in number 4. Even a 370 with an 8, number 5. Somebody Ferguson over here on the right-hand side. Very nice run. Jump behind the wheel, that's to make it 369 last time. Really all like this green. It's going to be 369, 204 miles an hour, and Buddy Ferguson will start race day tomorrow from the number 1 qualifying spot. Chase at 370. To the other end, and that's going to put Robert Cox, number 14. Scott Wild is up next. Looking Fry, 67 Mustang.
back to Scott Devereaux. He's dead right at the starting line. Mark meets the flag. So Mr. Motorsport Road 3 presented by AFCO. Domestic is leading the category in the points hunt right now. The Colonel Cincinnati, they have struggled to qualify. The center line closes in for code 464, 139 miles an hour for Jesse Lambert. For Smalley. PDRA and leave the part out of the Pictus baseball, that's Mustang. They call the cars the NITROUS. The automotive technician is just 42 years old. Nearly the one at the side of the racetrack, your number 8 qualifier. For Casper, 488. Falling for 457. Tip number 5, we need drag 965 Pro Nitrous motorcycle, we're waiting for you, and 632. You're in the lanes, we've been calling you Pro Stock. You're going to make this final session. You need to be there. The Ty Casper. And Ford gets to 183 miles an hour for Steve. Miles an hour, identical to his previous qualifying effort, 421, 187 for Nick Schroeder.
Number 3 following with 3.
Qualifier who
on the right hand side, it'll a small Detroit, and so 6 Cavalier. Only made one qualifying shot around the time by 891.
here today. That thing in the high gear and stop to the racetrack. .09, 170 miles an hour for Dylan Boss tonight.
James Racing Pro 632. We need you. Not real common with. The file of the qualifying sheet for the take of 2010 GXP for NGK Smart Look. Race Star Wheels, Chris is Electric. down by the gyro. We're close to 15 minutes. Here, after a little close to 15 minutes, next bear. Keep it moving on the left-hand side. Number 7, 412 with the 7.
Best for the weekend by 100, 106.
Your way right, up next on the left-hand side. You have to call it 1-2 Camaro. Miller racing in the PDRA excavating. Going right, goes to 2. There's a 466 on it.
Miles an hour. Biggest ribbon for Chris. Johnny 4082, 179. Miles an hour, 4.066. Elijah Morton, how low can you go? Man, oh man.
Road limits here on the right-hand side. And issues in Q1. Super Street, presented by Metro Motorsports. We need you. Gas on board. Then side. Please transport yellow check.
Nice run from the Douglas Georgia machine. Eric beginning at 4:03.1. Both riders make their riders in the category to go into the three. So unfortunately, there are 9 riders here in qualifying.
That's going PDRA QA Racing Team sits number 5 with a 4:03 with a 6. And Muhammad Awad on the right hand side.
The opening round of the competition today. Oh man, Jason Harris, the burnout, has some issues right there. They're going to have to back up the Party Time Camaro. That is not.
Jason has CB Towers, M&M transmissions, Albert Racing engines, and Hoosier Racing tire on board. But here on the right-hand side, a guy who's crushed many.
That's Jason Harris. Comes in 5th in the point standings right now. Problems for Harris at the starting line. Nowhere, and Ed Burnley is going to be your winner.
And Wes D'Estefano will take the round win. D'Estefano here on the right side, the chain was 2.0. Pat Musey powered Race Star wheels, Precision Racing suspension, 68 Camaro. Beams.
Lights are down, they're out of the way. Big time advantage goes to D'Estefano. 377 at 205 miles an hour. Look at the 007 reaction time.
So our next pair completing the burnout process on the left-hand side of the racetrack. It's the engine builder out of Whitville, Virginia, Billy Albert, the El Chapo 1969 Camaro. Stand in.
All right, so Billy Albert, Mike Augenbach. Look at the numbers there, 379, 200 miles an hour, and Billy Albert with a 14
Next up here on the right-hand side of the racetrack, Derek Ford out of Gaithersburg, Maryland. The home state race for him. The Euro Pros, please.
Red flag starts to determine this one. 272. Red here in round number 1. Freddie Scribe at 380, 200 the speed, and the third.
Next up here on the right-hand side, Dane Wood out of Chesapeake, Virginia. Escobar, the 2013 Mustang for Albert Racing engines.
Wood is in. Cox is in. Tree fires. The man is from the right side. It's going to be Dane Wood. 8,000 margin of victory at the top of the racetrack. 384, 195 miles an hour. A whole shot win here in round number 1.
Camera comes to life here on the right-hand side of the racetrack. Rob Honeycutt behind the wheel out of Hughesville, Maryland, 2017.
So let's see if the ATI Performance Products machine can move on. Tires taking a win for Rob Honeycutt. Chris Reaney at 381.5, 201 miles an hour will get the.
Talked about all weekend. Buddy Perkinson behind the wheel of Tommy Franklin's Jungle Rat 69 Camaro. Of course, Tommy.
A perfect reaction time and tire shake. So your number 1 qualifier will lose lane choice.
First round of WS Construction Pro Boost. We'll see Scott Walgus here on the right-hand side of the racetrack.
We'll roll into the pre-stage beam. First pair in Pro Boost just about set to go. Advantage goes to Walgus. 371.4 at 203 miles an hour. It's on down the Coors Light side of the racetrack with ease, and he will move in to round number 2.
Our next pair ready to do battle on the right-hand side, Don Tolley out of Bedford, Virginia, 2014 Camaro, Maxwell Racing Oil.
Don Tolley to lay down that nice 368 run. That was only good enough for 9th in the field. Second pair, here we go. Tires taken in. To recover 376, 204 the speed. Randy Weatherford is moving on to round number 2 here today with the foot.
Good matchup pulling through the water box. Chuck Walsh here on the right-hand side out of Mount Airy, Maryland. 68 Camaro with the Brian Rouge horsepower under the hood. Redline Oil, Brad Anderson Enterprises. He went a 369.0.
The mechanic out of Maryland, it is a hometown race for him. That 68 Chevrolet Camaro is ready to try to take down one of the best. No problems whatsoever for the Slice and Ice entry at 203 miles an hour. So
Jane Cortuccio here on the right side of the racetrack out of Wallingford, Connecticut. The East Side Auto Transport 69 Camaro for Proline Racing, Fuel Tech, the Red Hat Mafia, and Carmack.
69 number. He was one of the first drivers to go into the 60s in qualifying, and was only good enough for number 11. After Q3. Red light start for this. 369.9 at 206. First off the starting line.
Current sports leader here on the left-hand side, Todd Totoro out of Yadkinville, North Carolina, P2 Contracting, Tie Drive 2020 Camaro. He comes into this event, your number 3
Mustang. You know, they sit back there watching car after car shake the tires in the right lane. They hope they have the tune-up to get through the tire shake zone and at least throw something at Todd Totoro sitting over there on the left-hand side. Now remember the final qualifying session, Todd Totoro, the blower right off the top of that P2 Contracting Chevy. The Yadkinville, North Carolina machine ready to go. 202 miles an hour. It looked like Bob Flynn was going to get there first, and he encountered more problems. Started to experience issues right around half track.
Next up, Derek Ward here on the right-hand side, Bridgeton, Maryland. The American Pride Golf Cart.
It to be a very interesting round of Pro Boost. Round number 1 of elimination. That 363 run that it goes posted last night was stellar. Over 206 miles an hour. Ward knows he's got his work cut out for it. They're out of the gate. Ward's right there. Out of power. 375, 204, nearly 205 miles an hour for the Ford Mustang of Robert Gagos in the Coors Light side.
Robert Cox in the Michigan-based Cox Trucking 2015 Camaro. Pickle built that machine, Elite Motorsports, and Noonan Race Engineering on board. And your number 1.
He's set. Kurt Setting follows suit. Tree fires around the way. Out of power, 371, 207 miles an hour. Kurt.
First pair, Dick Schroeder, left-hand side of the racetrack out of Frankfort, Delaware.
Makes the final move to the beat. The tree fires. They're out the way. Yeah, they're they both go silent and coasting on. on through at 487 for Steve Rizafali's.
Jerry Morgano here on the right-hand side. Out of Apollo Beach, Florida. Ameriprise Financial.
Bill Riddle, Jerry Morgano. Oh, man, look at that. Morgano has issues, isn't even able to take the tree. Bill Riddle loses fire out there as soon as the tree fires on his side.
Last two outings, it's appeared that Jesse struggled just a little bit with that car driving left or driving right. Need to have it lined out right here. It's one of the toughest competitors in the class.
A matchup here in round number 1 of Pro Street. The tree set. They're out of the way. Problems immediately for Jesse Lambert. 414. 185 miles an hour. Your number 2 qualifier. Your points leader is moving on here today.
Westville, New Jersey, the Sinatra 05 Mustang was supposed to face Nick Agostino, the number 1 qualifier here this weekend. And the M&M Transmission 69 Camaro out of Canada. And Nick broke his machine. So Ty Casper.
Ty Casper. The baseball bat Mustang rolls into the beams left side. A competition single here in the opening round of elimination. He's going to make a clean run. 429, 197 miles an hour. And that is actually Ty Casper's best run of the weekend.
First pair out, Stephen Boone. First race for that team in the 2022 season.
Out of the gate, the advantage goes to Placino. The racetrack is going to be Johnny Placino. 415, 177 miles an hour. The Oakdale, New York Ford will move on into round number 2. Steve Boone at 421.
Our next pair completing the burnout process, Merrill.
3-stage bulbs are lit. We'll find out, is it going to be a blue oval or bow tie getting to the finish line first? Problems for both right away, but just 461, 172 miles an hour to the 519, 164 charge out into Wayne Wright. So Justin,
the Black Magic clutches 2013 blue oval Ford Mustang. And Chris Powers, that beautiful 2021 Camaro for Sonny's Racing Engines out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
The Sonny's world-class racing engine Camaro takes on the Black Magic clutches. 3-car operation for Derek Reese. Canal Fulton, Ohio. They're set out of the gate. Tire shake. Derek Reese gets all crossed up. The other end at 4.90 seconds. 139 miles an hour. Derek Reese was 543 at 144.
It looked like Derek Reese thought his day was done. Then he looked over and saw Chris Powers having issues, so he got back into it. As soon as Powers was able, he got back into it and legged it out to the finish line first. Our next pair, Dylan Voss on the right side out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Vigilante Associates, 06 Cavalier, Voss wheelie bars. Race light, lithium, liquid normal, number 1 spot. Qualified number 3 at a 4080. Here on race day, we'll have to find.
Three-stage bulbs are lit. Is it going to be another pedal fest to the top end? We're about to find out. JR car, Dylan Voss, set to go. Tree fire. The advantage goes to Voss. And upset happens. Voss at 4:19.4. Your number 10 qualifier takes down the number 2 finisher in the world from last year, JR. So Dylan Voss will actually have lane choice over your reigning world champion, round number 2, Chris Powers, and that's going to be huge.
That's pretty interesting. He comes out.
Out of the gate. Both problems for both. scribing jobs just continue here in the opening round of...
So our final pair here in Liberty's Gears Extreme Pro Stock presented by AED Competition. It'll be Dave Hughes on the right-hand side out of Nazareth, Pennsylvania. HRE Manifolds 28.
So Elijah Morton needs to win this one for points. They get down the racetrack. The number there, low for the round, 4.121, 176 miles an hour for your number one qualifier. Elijah Morton says, hey, I don't know what everybody else is doing, but we had no problems whatsoever. Dave Hughes first off the starting line.
At a 4:03.1, he went 175.34 out.
A little tire shake there for McKinney Price. The racetrack is going to be 4.101, 175 miles an hour. The Q80 racing team for Michelle Altamar gets the round win here as your number 4 qualifier.
Our next pair already completing their burnouts here on the right-hand side. Ashley Owens out of Decatur, Alabama, the McKinney Motorsports 2014.
Of a second, Muhammad Alawad at 406, 173 miles an hour. And there is an upset here in the round of number 1 of elimination.
So that'll bring up Tyrone.
There we go. And there's Travis Davis, your number 2 qualifier. 407, 175 miles an hour, the Davis Transport.
Country Financial 2016 Suzuki Fast by Gas. Even a Ford.
So Paul Gass, Gerald Smith, free-stage bulbs are lit. Let's see if the veteran of the category, Fast by Gas, turn on the wind light here. The instrument of the stage being the tree fires, they're out of the gate. Paul Gass pulls away. 4.005. Wow, 177 miles an hour. Low for the round in the heat of the day.
It's Burnley. On the right-hand side, out of Pasadena, Maryland, the Ironman 69 Camaro.
Now, the Napa Auto Parts lane, no problem.
But hang tight, Derek, as you can look out onto the racing surface, see some of it is now in the
Go, Perkinson and Burnley into the pre-stage and stage beams. Hold on, lights are down, they're out of the way. Advantage to Perkinson. Buddy C, 372.9, 203 miles an hour. They didn't let that tire shake affect him here in round number 2 whatsoever. But look at that. They can start to get it more aggressive on the tune-up to get that car back down into the 60s possibly.
So Chris Reaney up next on the left-hand side. He will be on.
Oh, man, shake the tires there. The ATI Chevrolet.
Next matchup coming through the water box, Billy Albert out of Whitfield, Virginia, the El Chapo 69 Camaro. It's Brett Scriba here on the right-hand side. The Sorcerer 69 Camaro out of Scriba Welding.
100 apart. Bulbs lit. So Billy Albert's got to roll up there. Go right in. They're set. The advantage goes to Albert. He's perfect. Sideways. 372 at 201 miles an hour at the Millersville, Maryland. Chevrolet of Freddie Scriba is moving on with that line, and right at half track, that is when the Chevrolet Camaro turns sideways.
Interesting matchup coming up here next. On the right-hand side, Dane Wood out of Chesapeake, Virginia, took down Jay Cox in the opening round.
Chevy, here we go. Lights are down. The advantage goes to Wood. And he holds by 75 thousandths of a second. Jim Halsey gets around for the win. Dane Wood was 019, goes 380 at 194, makes his quickest.
Now, Derek, we saw some Pedal Fest earlier this afternoon, much different track conditions now. And here comes your points leader, Todd Tutterow on the right-hand side at the Yacksonville, North Carolina, backing up to do his burnout, as Randy Weatherford's already done with his. Weatherford on the left-hand side, the Butcher 19 Camaro for WS Construction. Tutterow here with the P2 Contracting tie drive machine. Gets a good burnout that time. Weatherford, calm, cool, and collected over there on the
Likes the top bulb first. The WS Construction Chevrolet just about ready to do battle. Tutterow's in, lights are down. The advantage goes to Weatherford. 368.0 by 15 thousandths of a second. It's a whole shot win for Randy Weatherford. Todd Tutterow at 366, 200. Ball here in round number 2.
And with the way that the ladder works out here, Derek, Kurt Stedding's on the bye run. We thought that Preston Tanner would be the next out, but Kurt Stedding.
Ball is lit. Kurt Stedding, a few more inches, and he's going to turn this thing loose. Front end at 364.9. Look at that, Maryland International Raceway. 208 whopping miles an hour.
So watching these ET balls, I'm real anxious to see the next pair come up. It's Preston Tanner on the left-hand side in his sophomore year.
Preston Tanner, Robert Gallegos, Ford and Chevy, Corvette, Mustang matchup here in round number 2. Indiana versus New Mexico. Lights are down around the way. It's going to be Robert Gallegos. 364.8. That's a run. 205 miles an hour. Preston picks it up. 368.3. 203 the speed. Great reaction time for Tanner. Here comes our final pair in round number 2 through the water box.
And Derek, you alluded to it just a little while ago. This is probably the biggest round, or the biggest matchup of the round. Melanie Salemi out of Buffalo, New York, here on the right-hand side in the 29.
Here we go. This is going to be a good final matchup of round number 2 at Pro Boost. And look at Melanie Salemi. Low for the round. It's girl power. 363.8, 204 miles an hour. And Melanie Salemi shows why. She is hunting for...
And it's an all-turbocharged affair. Here's the first two come to light. Steve Foley here on the right-hand side. The Corvette out of Mount Airy, Maryland. They call it old school. And Ty Casper, left side, out of Westville, New Jersey. The 05 Mustang, they call it.
Out of the gate first with the Foley Corvette. On top of the racetrack. Ty Casper drives around for the win. 4.182 at 192 miles an hour. Chris Foley was 428 at 189. And the Sinatra Mustang. Nick Agostino's out of here. Chris Cadato's not here. So he can catapult himself potentially up to the top 3.
And we could potentially have the same final round that we had in Norwalk, because here comes Bill Riddle on the right-hand side out of Howell, Michigan. The Corrigan Race Fuels 89 Camaro.
Riddle. And it's going to be domestic. 4:06.2. Bill Riddle needed to run the best run of the weekend, and that did not happen. He went the slowest run. 4:19.5, 184 miles an hour. He was off the starting line.
Mincer Motorsports, we need you to the staging lanes at this time, please. Now we're going to move over to Liberty's Gears Extreme Pro Stock presented by AED Competition. And man, what a matchup here. First off, right-hand side of the racetrack, Justin
Right face. And runner-up spot. Couldn't seal the deal. So they're hungry for an event win. One's going to move on, one's going to go on the trailer. They're out of the gate. The advantage is high gear, and the Dayco Pontiac by 66 thousandths of a second is moving on. 408, 177.
AFCO Racing Super Street presented by Mr. Motorsports. We need ya. Dylan Voss, left-hand side of the racetrack out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Vigilante Associates 06 Cavalier comes up next on the left-hand side. So Chris Powers is in. Voss lights the bottom off. The tree fires. They're out of the gate. The advantage goes to Voss. Half track of the 409 elapsed time. The Sonny's world-class racing engine Camaro is moving on here tonight. 4.090. North Carolina, the Double Trouble Mustang. And Johnny Placino here on the right-hand side, the Shameless Mustang out of Oakdale, New York. We need Shameless Racing Pro 632, final call, North Carolina. Who's going to get off the starting line first? Three-stage bulbs are lit, they're taking their time. Would love nothing more to see a little staging duel here. Johnny loves to get up on the wheel. All right, Maryland, are we going to see our first staging duel of the weekend? You've got 4 to the left side. You got 4 to the right side. Johnny Placino says we can wait here all night. Elijah Morton says, you know what? I'll go in first. You better get ready, kid, because I'm going to give you all you can handle. 3 fires. They're out of the gate. The advantage goes to Placino. Look at the numbers. 4.089, 177 miles an hour. And Johnny Placino wins the crucial round right there in the Strutmaster. Alawad in round number 1. Let's see what these two riders are going to bring to the table here tonight and find out who's going to go to a final round. Lights are down. Red lights start through Alawad. Travis Davis. 174 miles an hour. Your number 2 qualifier, Travis Davis, gets a berth to final round. All right, here's Paul Gass, comes up on the right-hand side. He's been number 1 qualifier their last 2 events, and he won at Norwalk. 397.2 was what he qualified at. How low can he go? Out of the gate, Gass is first. Top of the race, look at the numbers there. 398.2. Fast by Gass is going to the final in race number 2. And our first pair getting ready to battle. Striping here on the right-hand side out of Millersville, Maryland. The Sorcerer, 1969 Camaro. Driver welding. That juicy power playing underneath the hood scoop and Buddy Ferguson, the hired gun in the jungle right on the left side. Camaro sitting in the left-hand side. He is taking on qualifier Ferguson into the beam's left side. 369, 203 miles an hour. Freddie Scriba is going to the final round here tonight. 3.7. Final round tonight in MIR. Chris Rainey here on the right-hand side of Hickory, North Carolina with big shades of gray 69 Camaro for API Performance Products. Great outing here at the North-South Shootout for Chris Rainey and the team. And Jim Halsey on the left-hand side. And having a great Maryland, the Daddy Shark 68 Camaro for Fulton Racing. So this is the furthest that Chris Rainey has been so far in competition at two hard side of the racetrack. Who's going to go to the final and take on Scriba tonight? Now red and Jim Halsey, 368 at 206 miles an hour will go to the final. It will be an all Maryland. Contracting and Tie Drive. Our first pair up, the Pro Line cars. Road Charge Machine of Robert Gallego. Here on the right-hand side, with the Crash Champions 22 Mustang, and left-hand side, Randy Weatherford. The WF Construction 2019.
So the bets are being placed. It's either going to be a pre-stage ball first. Here comes the 2022 Ford alongside. It's going to be Robert Gallegos. First final round of the year at 3.634, 206 the speed. Look at the mile per hour to Randy Weatherford, 211 whopping miles an hour at 360.
Side the 2019 Camaro, built by G-Force Race Cars, prepared by Resolution Racing Services, trying to make gains in the point standings within her way against Kurt Stedding here on the right-hand side at Kearney, Pennsylvania. The P2 Contracting, Tie Drive 2020 Camaro, trying to keep Melanie from catching his teammates.
The quickest car in the property, setting in the Napa Auto Parts lane. But Joe Melanie turns on the three-stage ball first. Kurt Stedding. He's going to follow suit right side. This should be a barn burner of a semi-final round matchup right here, right now at Proby. Kurt Stedding, 19 thou, margin of victory. Look at the elapsed times. 361.8 to the 361.9, and man, did they have those race cars tuned up.
Now it's time for Liberty Gear's Extreme Pro Shot, presented by AG Competition. What a monster matchup we have pulling through the water box. Chris Bowers, world champion from last season out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, the Sun Racing Engine 2021 Camaro for ATI Performance Products, CR Powers, HVAC, trying to make some gains in the point standings. But on the left-hand side, Tony Gillick, the Dayco, NGK Spark Plugs, Race Star Wheels, 2010 GXT.
And get up on top of the steering wheel to have a shot. Powers rolling into the pre-stage piece. This is probably going to be one of the starting lines. Howard shakes it. He's all over the racetrack, and Tony Gillick. It's not pretty, but it's a win light. 484 with a 9, 119 miles an hour. The Dayco Pontiac for Tony Gillick at Huntley, Illinois. Tony Gillick back-to-back final round appearances here. 2022, runner-up in Norwalk, and guaranteed a final round tonight here in Maryland.
And he'll face Johnny Bocino, backs up front.
Whatsoever for Johnny Bocino. There's another 4:08 elapsed time. They can literally dial that race car in. 4:09, 4:09.
The most powered Camaro of Jim Halsey.
and Kyle, put up together in 2022. Category into the final round here. Number 1 and 2, side by side. Third setting. Your number 1 qualifier, 3-4, doing kickoff lane joint. The visual heading to there, the Rhino Motorsports Power to contracting. Setting follow. Look at the number there. 361 to 208 miles an hour. Kurt Setting. Blaze Blaze all Ford Mustang final round between Tim Essick and Ty Faster. We need top sportsman 32 to the lane, please. Attention pit top sportsman 32. Ford fans, this is what you've been waiting for. Another Maryland-based driver finds himself in a final round tonight. Casper mustered a 418. He's got to get up on the wheel. Ty Casper is deep. Final round here in Pro NITROUS